There's been an accident on the world's largest lake. Hello to you in Czechoslovakia. Hello to New Mexico. We're out here on Lake Baikal. There have been many accidents reported where cars go under the ice. This is the world's largest lake in volume. This is Lake Baikal. I hope you could hear me. I'm going to be showing you the newest accident. Unfortunately, it happened here in my town, but lucky for the people who were involved, they are alive and they're well. So I just wanted to make a live to report from the lake. So I'm walking right now on top of the lake, and my father-in-law was fishing. You can see a lot of guys ice fish here. This is not far from the shore there, and they do their ice fishing there. You see all these holes are for ice fishing. I'm not sure if vodka was involved, but in my opinion, I don't think it was. I think this was just a case where people who are not from here decided to visit the town, and they were unfortunately out of the know as to what the nature is like here. So now I'm going to turn the camera around for you, and for the people who are watching right now, please do consider hitting like, because this is an educational video that if you come to Russia or if you go to any country where you're a tourist, to respect nature and respect the native ways. So if you put like, this spreads it to other people so that they can see and learn. As you can see, this is a car that drove into, well, in my opinion, they were foreigners or tourists who didn't know that there was a river here. So when they were driving on the edge of the lake, you can see the tire marks there. You see the tires, and it looks like they fell in further back. Okay, this is live from Siberia. We are on top of the largest lake in the world. There have been many accidents this year. This is actually not the first time this has happened this year, but what I'm trying to show you now is what not to do. It's a beautiful day, of course. It is always a sunny day in Siberia, in our region. Welcome to the live. But if you look at the tire marks, it looks like the river actually pushed their car and it got stuck. They were very fortunate that the lake was not so deep here, because the car could have sunk under the ice and they could have been gone. Let me know if the live stream is still alive. Please let me know if you could hear me. I'm gonna be making a video anyways. I'm going to be making a full video on this, so if the live stream is dead, it is what it is. You can see he drove from this direction, and he was dragged maybe 2 to 3 meters by the river. This river is one of 300 or plus that feed Lake Baikal, and it's probably one of the smaller rivers. This is a very small river compared to the larger ones. And here's a guy who's looking at the wreck. I wouldn't go that close, as the ice has already been compromised. You don't want to be standing next to the compromised ice, but he can do whatever he wants. Just look how close he's getting. Fascinating how they can walk that close after seeing that the ice has already been compromised. Again, this car was coming from the direction of the town. He was driving on the shoreline. You can see his tire marks. Uh, you can see the tire marks all the way coming in from the inside of the town center, and they follow. He followed the edge of the lake, but the people survived. Hey, Ginger. The people survived. There wasn't a problem. They got lucky that the car got stuck where it got stuck. Again, the river is not a big river, so it didn't sink under the ice. He's not getting that car for a while. That's right. The car probably won't be recovered until after the lake has melted. Why? Because it's very hard to access it this far in. You're going to need quite the operator. And also, if the water melts, it's easier to push. They could tug it by boat onto the shoreline. This is my opinion. It's probably better to wait until the lake has melted, because that way you can tug it out with a boat towards the shoreline and then pull it. Now, another opinion that I have about the people who drive on the lake is that it's necessary for the economy. These kind of accidents make it a little bit harder for people to do their jobs. Even the people who do their jobs where they take tourists on the ice, they fall through the ice as well. It happened to 8 Chinese tourists who lost their lives. They lost their lives, I think it was last month. It's a tragedy. It's a tragedy, but it's something that it's part of the lake culture. Tourists want to come and they want to explore the ice, and there's people who drive them on the ice, and they have accidents too. People who have done that all their lives. The driver of a tourist company fell through the ice recently, and 8 Chinese people died. Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us. The ice would destroy the car unless you pull it through the broken ice. Even then, the fate of the car is doomed. That's right. The car for sure is not going to make it out of this. And this guy just is breaking ice, and he almost fell in. This guy is playing with fire. He almost fell in. And the river, again, it's not strong. And the reason why I think these people did make it out of there, because the river is not so strong. You don't see so much movement. And had the river been any stronger, it would have sunk and pushed that car under the ice. Now I'm going to show you. Oh, by the way, shout out to Ginger. I love you. In about an hour or 2 hours, our wood is going to be coming, and the picture was going to be the car, but I decided to make a live. The gingerbread house wood. Here's another angle. And there is the magnificent lake Baikal. This is something that we see often, unfortunately. Here's my wife and my father-in-law with my son. Our son Felix is outside and about already. Look at that guy. It's a warm day. Shout out to the hermano out there in Irkutsk City. We love you so much. We're just showing this live of the car that drove into the lake today. This car got into the lake and he unfortunately cracked through the ice, and now his car is gone. But the people who were involved in the accident are alive and well. We decided to come out because it's such a lovely day. A lot of people think that, you know, Russia is a gloomy place in winter, but I have to wear sunglasses almost every day here. I have to wear sunglasses almost every day because there's just too much sun all winter and all year for that. Anso, bro, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Here, if you're just coming in, I was reporting on the accident on the ice today. That's right. It's much better to go on foot if you want to come visit in winter. Hello to Brazil. Obrigado for joining us. Ooh, actually, this is a really good brick. So the people who are just joining, I'll go take one more look for you guys at the lake for the car that got sunk in. Here we have the tire marks. Добро пожаловать. Спасибо большое. Я хорошо. Нормально. Here we have the tire marks, and I'll tell you guys again. The car was driving on the town's edge all the way from the center, and he was on the edge here, and he drove in this location, but where he broke through the ice, he was dragged 2 to 3 meters in through the river. And what was happening was the driver didn't know that there was a river running here. Okay, the driver was unaware that there was a river here, and that backed through the ice. And now you see what happens when you don't respect the laws in a very dangerous place. Nature will always win. Look how blue that sky is. They got out by themselves. Everybody made it out. They got out by themselves. But it's already been reported to the authorities, and I'm not sure when the car is going to be taken out. The car is probably going to have to stay there today and tomorrow, because logistically, the way to deal with this, you need specialists. You need specialists because this is not an easy job. This is a car that's sunken on ice. Part of that ice could be as very, very thick, and the car has already been frozen. So the water that broke through is already freezing around the car, making it that much harder to pull. Here's one last look to the car. I'm going to be making a full video. Insurance doesn't work in Russia the way it works in some other countries. In Russia, the cars are very destroyed because the insurance companies will not give you a new car or fix that. They're just gonna have to buy a new car. I've never heard in my town incidents where people use their insurance, like if somebody crashes them, to where they barely get enough to fix smaller things. Ginger, if you have another question, you can ask. Sorry, I missed it. If I missed it, let me know if I didn't answer your question. Here, I'll give you guys another angle in a second. I'm gonna go show from here, okay? And that's it. Here, I'll show you guys the river angle. The river angle is actually very important because you get to see exactly why that ice broke. We have moving water. Moving water will compromise the ice much faster. Yes, the car is a complete waste. Yes, you do need insurance in Russia to drive, but the insurance is more like to fix uh, your. I'll ask Xenia right now because I'm not really sure. Here, I'm gonna give you guys the look of the river. Here's the river angle. Okay, so this is moving water, and this is not very deep. They're very lucky that the river is running very slowly. They're very lucky that the river is not so deep in this portion. And that's why the car only broke through the ice and didn't sink under. They are absolutely blessed that in winter this river is smaller. That is right. This is a river that goes into Lake Baikal. But this river grows when the water melts. But when it's winter, the river's very small and not so deep. So what happened? The river could not sustain the weight of the car, but the car got stuck. There have been no news that the driver was drunk. And to be honest, I don't think at all that they were drunk. What I think is they don't know the town and they didn't know that there was a river there because they drove for maybe 4 to 5 kilometers from past the center of the town and they made it all the way here. So they were already driving on the edge. What happened was they didn't know there was a river and the river cracked. I'll ask Xenia right now, but I'm almost positive that it doesn't work like in America. Like in my insurance, America, if I crash, my insurance will pay for the car's damage and will help me with my car. It's like a smaller car. I'll get a little closer for you one more time. Sush, I have a question for you, and you could ask your dad too. Ask your dad, like, does insurance pay for that car? Will insurance buy them a new car, or how does it work?
No, they will not pay for this car. They will pay if something accidentally happened.
Oh yeah, but
Like weather was really crazy, tree falling down, they will give you money to fix it. They will not buy you new car.
ask your father what he thinks. What will insurance do for them?
Он спрашивает, что страховка для них сделает.
Разбираться будем.
Ну вообще, она же по сути только несчастные случаи.
Но если несчастный случай,
всякие эти.
не, если несчастный случай, то скажут, ты сам виноват, загнал туда. А несчастный случай, если ты машину оставил и что-то с крыши упало, тогда да. А это он виноват, и ничего ему не будет.
What does he say?
He say it's his fault.
It's his fault, so insurance won't do anything? So insurance only helps if it's an accident, like what?
Yeah, they text like if it's like a natural accident, like a
Tree fall?
river go out and
Uh-huh.
float in all city, or a tree falling down, or something like this, and almost nothing else.
And what happens if somebody crashes you?
They will figure out whose fault it is. If it's your fault, they will not pay for that.
Okay. So in Russia, it has to be the other person's fault at 100%, or you will not get help, apparently. This was an owned car. This was a tourist. This is a confirmed. For sure, these people were tourists. And I'm so off topic, but I might visit Vladivostok this summer with my family. Japanese have visa, travel to Vladivostok, but not leave the region. What the heck? That's unfortunate. Hey, if you ever come visit and you can leave Vladivostok, you can come visit me anytime. You know this. You have my contact on the Telegram. You can write to me on an email and you can come visit. This summer's going to be amazing. Here, I will show you one more look, all the angles on the car for my friends who are just tuning in. I'll give you guys one last look from the back here. Some of the trash from the car is floated up. You can see that though, like I told you guys, part of the ice that broke already froze around the car. If temperatures drop today or tomorrow, this car will be completely frozen in. There will be no possibility to pull that thing out because the layer of ice will be so heavy inside. Here's a side view. Here's one more view from the front. The river again runs below my feet. The river runs below my feet, and this is where my father-in-law fishes. Hell, there was still even this water here. Look at this. It's pretty cold. Thank you, Ginger. Look. The water's running below us. Thank you so much for the support. I hope this is interesting news from Lake Baikal. This is not a very reachable region, but you do have many of these accidents happening every year, and this one just happens to be in my hometown. I don't think that's a Dodge. We'll have one more look from the front. The windshield is still there. Oh, you can actually see through the ice parts of the car. So, cars do get stolen. Cars do get stolen in Russia, but it's not like so common in small towns like where I live. You're very unlikely to get your car stolen. You can leave your car running. You can leave your car on for hours and nothing's gonna happen. Why? Because it's just not a normal thing to do in our society here. So, how does the cabin going? Listen, today the wood is coming. Today the wood is coming for our build. People from the town are not gonna come and record. So funny. Here's another angle. The wood that's going to be used to build our house, our mini hotel, is coming today. And it's called the Gingerbread House. It's a name dedicated to Ginger, who's in the chat. That's gonna be the name of the house. It's gonna be called the Gingerbread House. And it's gonna be a good time. Today the wood is coming and we'll start building in June. No, it's gonna be used as a mini hotel, and it's gonna be used for just for leisure time for our family and for friends. It's called the Gingerbread House, and it's gonna, you know, I think those people actually might be the people who went in because they were a little bit angry. They're a little bit angry that we're recording, but you have to record these things. People have to learn. You know, you have to be the type of person that understands it this way. If you shame someone who does such things and expose them and show the world And then some people will learn out of shame and some people will learn out of fear. This is my opinion. Always happy to hear from you. How's the wife and the baby? Well, we're gonna go look at the wife and the baby right now. We're gonna make our way to our plot of land because the wood is coming soon. Tacos are not so good in Russia. The Russians don't like that kind of food. Grow power. I'm still not done with the enlistment information. There's a lot of information that is still not out there. A lot of people have been asking me, hey, how do I join the Russian military and all of these things? I'm not a recruiter, guys. I'm not out there recruiting people. I'm not even trying to join myself. I'm trying to make sure that people are well informed. But if I was to join the Russian military, I would be put to waste if they don't let me do what I want to do. And it's very common that in Russia you don't get to West you have. So that's a negative. Hey, Sush, I think those are the people that drove the car. I think those people are the people that drove the car there. They're so angry. It's so funny, man. So yeah, I think it was those people. They were saying that I was stupid for recording, but I think they're stupid.
No. They say he talked about a person who did this.
I thought they were saying I was stupid for recording.
No.
But babe, he's like government people or something.
No.
So what the hell? They act like they're gonna do something.
Yeah, they must call to a person who will take you out.
Okay, we're gonna show you now. The whole family is outside. It's very rare. It's gonna be 12 in the afternoon. Yes, people from the West in hundreds have asked me how to join the Russian military, but I'm not a recruiter. It happens almost every day. He's got milk on his face. Yeah, the Huffman people, I guess they came to Russia under other things. I think he ran away from the United States. He was a little scared over there, and he came to Russia. We have a different avenue of approach to life in Russia. But we can go, Sush. Did you call the wood people? It's a beautiful, beautiful Siberian day. I think the entire time that we've been on this live, you've seen the blue skies behind me. This is a common view here. Of course, we still have snow, but in the next month and a half, everything's going to be green. Everything's going to be absolutely different than what you're seeing now. These trees are going to have leaves. These bushes will have leaves and fruits and all types of things. Life will come back. If you guys have any questions before we head into the car to go check on the gingerbread house wood, let me know. Where is the wood coming from? Nice. Good question. The wood is coming from the city of Irkutsk. The wood was already reserved. This is winter wood. This is pine wood and larch. And we're going to be using this wood for the gingerbread house. Now, the gingerbread house is going to be 10 meters by 5.7 meters. I don't know about feet and inches, but it's going to be enough for a single family without kids. But tourism, this is mini hotel. This is going to be a project for the family for us to finish It's gonna be heated by electricity with water under the ground, but also by wood. We're gonna have three forms of heating, three times of heating, three types: electricity through heating water, wood heating, and stove heating. Sorry, gasoline. If the gingerbread house wood comes in the next maybe 30 minutes, it would be good for us to also talk about the price and all of that. Did you purchase the materials with the set of plans? I made the plans and I calculated. I made the plans, I drew, I used an application. I've checked all the sizes. By the way, look at that train with tourists. This is the tourist train. Yes, I have the plans, I have everything. Huh? Yeah, we will. Why? They're not coming today or what?
No, he just fitted up a car in Irkutsk. He did not start driving.
Okay, we'll go home and then I have to get the money anyways.
I'm not here. He say I tell him what he must call him maybe like 30-40 minutes before he came. What we get ready.
Yes.
Done. He said okay.
Okay, let's go buy some food.
In Absolute?
Yeah.
Okay. Поехали в Absolute тоже.
All right, so they are going to. You don't need a permit. You just need to show. It is a permit in the end. You show plans to the town administration, and then you can build. But it is not so crazy like it is in other places. The guy who built before us drew his plans with a pencil and paper, and they were accepted. Did you purchase the materials with the set of plans? I already answered that. How are you feeling about what's happening in Iran? Yeah, if you guys want to talk about the war and stuff, I'm really annoyed with this, but it's something that I haven't made any videos on. I haven't expressed my feelings because it's so pathetic. Here, Sush.
Hurry up, please.
Yeah. Ya. Toma.
Give
toma.
him.
Vente. No pasa nada. Miren.
He's so big.
This is a Siberian baby bear. And this is why we're doing all the things that we do.
We're both baby bears.
He's so calm. You can just go like this. What do you guys think, huh? We look exactly alike, right?
Sina bun.
He calms down now so easily.
Okay. I will go inside with him. Can you take it away, please?
Okay.
Всё, сына, я иду моя. Иду моя.
Yeah, he's born in the winter.
А вот мама. Мама тоже она. Вот мама, кусайте все будем? Давай, мама. Давай.
He's gonna be speaking the Spanish and the Russian from the. We are going to be teaching him both languages. Now we're going home, and I can give you guys more answers if you guys have any questions.
My father go to Absolute. He will wait as well. I will show him this meat what I like.
No, they don't give me any nobody gives me a hard time in Russia. I don't really take no shit from anybody. It doesn't matter if they're military, cops, civilians. I don't take shit from no one.
Вот так. Ножки прикроем. Давай, давай, пока машина не нагрелась. Да, давай, моя дома, мальчик. Вот так.
There's a bunch of people now that are gathering around the car. It looks like the news has spread. So you guys saw it first here. We were the first ones on the scene, except from the people who fell through the ice. So the people who are watching this live, if you're just joining this live, you can restart at the beginning and you can see what we were reporting on. We were reporting on a car that fell through the ice. This is a car from outsider. These were not townspeople, and they didn't know the terrain and they fell through a river. What special well, if I had a choice, I've already made a video. I would do sapper. I would do combat engineer, mine clearance. This would be my optimal job. I think it's the safest job for me. If I had to rejoin the military, I would do it again. Why would I do this job? Well, because it's the job that I did for so long. I know all types of landmines. I know all types of if the Russian government, if the Russian military or any military was to take me into their armed forces and I was not given this job, then they would be doing me a disservice because I knew how it works. I would be looking for landmines and doing ordnance disposal. Can you recommend someone to help me buy land in Russia? Buyers agents, yeah, look, I can help you personally. I've helped many people with free information. Join our Telegram. It should be in the description. I know how it works because I've bought land in Russia. I've bought apartments in Russia. And if you want any real help, contact me on the Telegram at the Wild Siberian. This is just you can also join the Russian Experience Telegram. This is where my group is, and we can give you free information there. Wonder, well, the training in Russia is another world. The Americans train much different than the Russians. I think because America has more military tradition, it's more fundamental. And the Russians, they have their own style of war. In war, you want to implement your style on your enemy. And the ways the Russians fight is much different than the Americans. The American army is an army that was built for the Cold War conflict. We already know this. We have stockpiles of things. We fight wars in this manner. This is why we lost in Afghanistan. Anytime we have unconventional warfare, we're going to lose. Now, the Russians, their military has always been a land military where it's stronger on land. Their army is very strong. Their doctrine, the way they fight land battles, is much different than the Americans. They can actually conventionally fight in a larger capacity. I hope that makes sense to you guys. The Russian military on the land is very strong, and their capacity for fighting a conventional war is much larger than the Americans. Russian CQB consists of a frag in every room before clearing. When I fought in Afghanistan, because the way that we fight is much different, we fight in smaller units. We fight in smaller formations than the Russians. The Russians, a lot of the people will say they send human waves. This is probably because they work in larger operations, in larger groups. So when people say that the Russians were just throwing waves of people, it's probably because they are capable of working at battalion size operations. And the Marines and the Army sometimes are just using companies and platoons. You can get off.
Take make some meat too for the
Okay.
sandwich. Put the Felix in pacifier here.
So my wife is going to the store right now, and we're gonna stay with our son, and we're gonna answer more questions. If you have any questions, let me know. Right now, we are waiting for the wood for the gingerbread house. Is there a link in this video to your Telegram channel? I think that the link should be in the description if we have a description on this live. I usually leave the link in the description, but you're in the Telegram, Ginger. Right now we're buying food for lunch. We're gonna just buy a little bit of meat and bread. I have these for her, Ginger. I have these. You know, guys, a funny story that only Ginger knows. So Ksenia got sick not too long ago because when we do the shopping, Ksenia goes into the shopping stores and she's exposed more than I am. And she got really sick. And so that's like an inside joke for her to wash her hands. Let's go check on our boy. Mi niño. Look at those beautiful eyes. We have this sunscreen thing, but the sun still gets through. Felix. ¿Qué pasó, eh? He doesn't really like the pacifier. Toma. A ver. ¿Quieres? He didn't really need it, but it's just a preemptive strike. Mi niño. Mi niño. Give a thumbs up for Felix, our young Mexican Siberian. The bonus for signing is going up every year. So if you're asking since when or if the bonus has gone up, the bonus goes up every year. Is he teething? No, he's not teething yet. He doesn't really like the pacifier, but like I said, I put that pacifier preemptively so he doesn't get too sad that my wife is not here. He doesn't like me as much as he likes my wife. He actually turned 5 months 2 days ago. Felix turned 5 months. So again, shout out to my son for surviving 5 months with first-time parents. He turned 5 months 2 days ago. He's got like a mix of 2 eyes. His eyes have been getting bluer and lighter. So his eyes might change. My eyes are like brown. I have brown eyes. He might have eyes like me that are brown, or he might have eyes like my wife who has like gray blue eyes. But he's showing signs that his eyes are becoming lighter and bluer, which is interesting because a lot of people say they're gonna be like, they tell me all the time, oh, his eyes are gonna get darker, browner, and I say, but they've gotten bluer. Do your parents have colored eyes? My parents do not. My mom has like amber eyes. My mom has a weird eyes. Ksenia's father has blue eyes. But our son is getting interesting mix. Yes, there are other veterans. In fact, we have a lot of Russian veterans in my town. I'm gonna be doing a mini documentary with a channel here in Russia. They don't know this, but I'm gonna be talking about my town and the appreciation that I have for the Russian veterans. This is gonna be coming out on television. But I also have American Sputnik, another veteran in Russia. He's gonna be visiting me, and I'm gonna be making some content with him. So it's gonna be two American veterans in my town. Alex says, thanks for the stream, Dan. It's 10 p.m. in Alberta. I'm off to sleep. Thank you so much, Alex. Thank you for joining us. I really appreciate your support. How they say in Spanish, mejorando la raza. Yeah, you know, like my family anyways has been white. I mean, my son is not the whitest person in my family. It's one of my sisters. I have a sister that's whiter than him, but he's pretty white. He's very calm, you can see. He's not like a crybaby. His mother's not here, but he's not complaining. He seems to be fine. And when I mess with him, he's gonna be bad. Toma, toma, toma. I should have left him alone. Yeah. Toma. I say that and I moved him too much. ¿Qué pasó? No pasa nada, no pasa nada. Tú calmado, ahorita te saco y vas a estar bien, ¿eh? ¿Verdad que sí? Vente, vente, vente. Vente, mi niño. Ahora estamos juntos. But I don't like him sitting down there. I like him being with me anyways. Mi niño. Saluda a la gente. ¿Eh? Todo calmadito, güerito. ¿Eh? No pasa nada. Yeah, we're from Guadalajara. Actually, my wife and I, we were living in Guadalajara before Felix was born, and then we came back to Russia. But Felix is gonna go to Guadalajara soon. So my son probably will look very native to where we're from. There's a lot of people who look like he does where I am from in Mexico. But people don't believe me. ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? Does anybody have any other questions? We're not going to get to see the arrival of the gingerbread house wood, but I will make a video on that as well. I guess I can give you guys some information on the building plans. I'm going to be extending the foundation so that we can build for the size that I want. He's so beautiful. Some people tell me, why don't you go back to America? Why would I want to go back to America? Look at my children. They're so beautiful. They're so healthy. They're so safe and happy. I don't want to go anywhere right now. I want to stay here so my son can swim on Baikal. He has a very strong neck. He's been very advanced for his age. All his little short life, he's been very strong. He was born premature too, which is very strange. Almost a full month. I mean, it was like a full month actually. But who knows about due dates? They had to take him out, emergency out of the stomach. Was it expensive? No. I didn't take a loan, but I used all of my savings. And in the video, I'm going to be talking about, why I think it's better to invest now and build. How do you think about gas prices will go up in Russia soon? Gas prices have gone up in Russia significantly ever since I arrived. So yeah, I think they're going to keep going up. Yeah, there's underwater currents in Baikal, but not strong in some places. If you look at the beginning of this live stream, there was a car that got taken into the lake, but not pushed under the river water. ¿Qué pasó? Esperas a tu madre, ¿verdad? He's a little Siberian baby bear. Sorry. Perdóname. Somebody asked about the Iranian conflict. I fought in Afghanistan, and I consider Iran mixed between Iraq and Afghanistan. And I don't know. I watch the news sometimes, and I see Donald Trump speaking about how we're gonna win in Iran, and I see all of the politicians, and they're so motivated and they're so ambitious. And I ask myself, where was your ambition when my friends and I were fighting in Afghanistan? Where was this ambition to win? So I don't believe anything they say. I don't believe anything they say, because when I was in Afghanistan and we were fighting the pedophiles who were stealing the kids, and this is my justification, right? When I was fighting these pedophiles in Afghanistan, where was the American military? Why were they not motivated to win? Why were we not bombing them to hell? It's bullshit, right? I was just a regular grunt, but I have enough understanding now that this is not a cakewalk, and it's a shame that we have presidents and leaders who speak about war as if it's a game on a board. You don't have an easy win. One loss of life is enough. This is not a board game. So for me, it's a little bit offensive. I'm a little bit... It's even humiliating in a way to see our politicians speak this way. Mira, mi niño. ¿Qué pasó, Esa carita de tan serio. Está serio, da Félix. Está serio, mi niño. Yeah, in Afghanistan, there was so much there were so many predators that for me mentally, that's what kept me sane in the war. Politicians didn't send me to fight their war. I was fighting my own war. But anyways, talking about Iran is a much larger country. It's much more motivated than Iraq, and it's a mix between Afghanistan and Iraq. So how can we win so fast? What did we get?
I take 2 kinkali bread for tea.
Are we eating kinkali now?
We can, but we have eggs, sausages. We can eat eggs, sausages.
No, I'll eat kinkali.
Huh?
I'll eat kinkali. I'll eat the kinkali sushi.
Okay.
Sorry.
Should I drive?
No sushi. You can get the sun. I'll drive.
Okay, then go away.
Oh, go away. Oh my gosh. Here you go.
Wait, we have to go. I need to stuff at home.
Okay, I'm going. My wife is moving my ass. Listen, everybody knows what's going on in the United States right now. Everybody knows that we are not an independent country. Everybody knows that we're fighting someone else's war. Yes, our son is learning Spanish because I speak to him in Spanish, and I will always speak to him in Spanish. Yes, I have the disability rating with the VA. I wish I didn't. I wish I had 100% healthy body. Oh no. I will show you what the town's looking like.
But we'll go home, right?
Yeah. You guys want to see what the town looks like? Welcome, bro. Haven't seen you in a while. A beautiful, beautiful clear sky. There's snow on the mountains. The roads have no ice. The main road has no snow. Very, very good looking roads right now.
Where's his pacifier?
It probably fell somewhere. But he was fine. He was fine. We're almost home.
I know.
Okay. Look how beautiful the sky looks. Look how beautiful the mountains look, guys. Please put like if you have enjoyed this live stream. If you're just joining this live stream, we started at the Lake Baikal. A car fell through the ice. We were reporting on it. We were the first people to see it. Actually, her father was. My father-in-law sent us a photo, and I said, I got to show the people. They have to learn to respect the nature and respect the native land. But yes, unfortunately, the United States is back at it again. They even have plans, they say, for Cuba. It's so scary, man. There's so much conflict in the world. I'm so freaking scared that their World War III is gonna start. And honestly, I would even say the world is at war already. Let's stop pretending like we're not in World War III, because rockets don't have to be flying absolutely everywhere. The truth is, the world is at war because so many countries are behaving so nasty against each other. This is the world at war. After Skola. And the cartels are funded by the United States. Let's also stop pretending. We need to stop pretending. The drugs are for the Americans. The drugs are for the Americans. The guns are by the Americans. The money's by the Americans. If it smells like shit, it looks like shit. If you step on it and you want to clean it, it's shit. And I'm tired of the propaganda. My country, my mom's country, where she was born in Mexico. Okay, for 50 years the propaganda has been Mexico is so unsafe. Mexico is a dirty country. Mexico is full of organized crimes. Everything is for the Americans. Everything is for the United States. If you're one of those people that talk shit on Mexico and you're from the United States, you should spit up towards the air. I'm not saying this out of spite or because I hate the United States. It's just very strange that people have blamed Mexico when the Americans pay for the drugs, when the Americans sell the weapons, and the Americans are the ones who are keeping the cartels in business. Why do you guys think there's armed forces all around the world? The United States hands over the weapons. The United States hands over whatever the people need, so that there's always problems. But we already knew this, so we're not going to talk about that further. We can't do anything about it. That's the problem.
Сейчас будем раздеваться и спать. Мой мальчик. Сейчас будем спать. Домой едем, сыночка. Домой.
There's a bike here that has no lock on it because people don't steal here. Somebody left their bike there on a pole. Nobody's gonna steal that bike.
Куда ты покатился, сыночка? Сына. Феликс. Это что такое? На.
My son back there struggling.
You wanna sleep already?
He's sleepy?
You need rest. Все, домой едем, сына. Всё, моя.
Yeah, the cartels were so the cartels were sold weapons, and the idea was if we sell these weapons we can track them, and they ended up just selling weapons and getting played, I think. Now we're home, and I'm gonna continue the live for about 20 more minutes just so I can get some thing off my chest here.
Пошли домой. Все, пошли.
Let me get my boy.
Идем, мой мальчик, идем. Идем домой. Идем домой.
No llores, ¿eh? The weather is absolutely pleasant. Cry baby. Yeah. You know, we do a lot of self-harm. The American government does a lot of things that hurt its people. Look how calm he is. He sees himself. Sorry. Go ahead first. Look at this little arrangement from Christmas that my wife has on the door. Very cute.
Don't try to make me nice.
Does he watch cartoons? No. We don't have electronics in the house for him to watch. This is probably the only thing he sees is if I annoy him with the phone. But he's gonna go to sleep soon. Let's see. Let me get undressed here. Please make sure to support the channel by subscribing and keeping up with the lives. Now that the gingerbread house wood is arriving today, now that the weather is getting better, there's going to be a lot of updates on what's happening with us. Oh, bollocks. Because we have a lot of things happening this year. Let me go and wash my hands. Is the live still working? We went from outside to the inside. I hope it's working. Do you think it would be better to if the entire Spanish world united into one country? No. Because the differences between all those countries is too big. Have you learned to speak Russian? Нет, я не говорю по-русски. Я не русский, но я не говорю по-русски. Я американец, я мексиканец, но я говорю по-английски и испански. Хорошо? Я не русский. Я не учу русский. Я не понимаю. Хорошо. I think honestly that the countries below the United States, the Hispanic American countries, the best thing that they can do is just stay out of the way. Stay out of the way of the United States. Stay out of the politics. Stay out of everything. What happened? Oh, I know you're not talking to me. Right now, the best thing anybody can do is stay away from the United States politically because they can get dragged into things that they don't want to do. I think that the president of Spain actually was like, hey, we're not going to let you use our military bases, even though the United States doesn't really need Spain because Spain is one of the countries that is furthest away from the Middle East. It's very much in the west part of Europe, and they can refuse because they can't get dragged in. The Europeans have a fear about the Russians. If that was a real monster, if it was something that was actually capable of causing harm to Europe, then what you would have is the countries rallying together. But Spain doesn't need any help from NATO because it's one of the furthest countries away from Russia if the Russian threat was real. Japan is in huge danger. Japan has no idea the danger that it is in. Japan has been used as a puppet state for so long. Japan has a horrible history in the area, and I'm not talking about atrocities. I'm saying like its horrible history comes from it being a puppet state since the end of World War II. They are used essentially as a buffer. Japan is to China to what Ukraine is for Russia. NATO has used Ukraine against Russia, and Japan will be used in the future against China in the same manner. Why? Because it is a puppet state. And I'm pretty sure, Anso, you understand what I'm saying. But we will have to see what happens. Yes, Japan is the glove over the USA fist. I've never heard that expression. That is a really good expression. Did President Putin really congratulate Trump on his military success? I'm not sure, but I can say this. I can say this. The leaders of countries are on a level that is incomprehensible to civilians. So we don't know if he really did say that. We don't know why he's saying that. It's probably because they have some sort of deal of some sort of cohesion between themselves, and it would merit a congratulations. We don't know the ultimate plan between those two people. Almost to 70 likes. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any other questions, I would be happy to answer them. My name is Daniel. I live in Irkutsk Oblast, Russia. I've been here since the beginning of 2022. I have lived through this conflict. I've lived through many conflicts and through war myself. And I'm happy to give you any point of view. I would be happy to give you my point of view from on any topic that you would like. Hello from San Diego, my old home. Well, not really. I lived in Oceanside when I was in the Marines. Shout out to Southern California. Do Russian media talk about Epstein? Look, the Epstein files is definitely something that makes its rounds around the Telegram channels for the Russians. Russian media is not very strong. Okay, the Russian media doesn't really work like it does in the United States and in the West. A lot of people think that the Russian propaganda machine is strong, but actually, the Russian propaganda, Russian news is much weaker than the American news and propaganda. And the Russians know this. The president of the Russian Federation, Vladimir Putin, even knows and understands that the machine in the United States is much stronger. And I'm not ignoring your messages. You're probably not writing. Oh, there was a missile strike on the Volga region. I hope Putin will strike Britain. Well, if that's what you're hoping, that's what you're hoping. That's not what I hope. I don't think that the Russian Federation needs to hit anything outside of Ukraine. they can win conventionally. I will be visiting San Diego maybe in the future. But what's fascinating is that the people always say the Russian propaganda, when in reality, Russian propaganda is very weak. The information that travels in Russia does not move through the propaganda machine. In Russia, it moves through the people themselves. A neighbor will say, "This is what I think." Neighbors will communicate. A friend will send a message to a friend, and they will have a discussion. In America, the zombie effect happens. They see it on the news, and the majority will believe it from that point. In Russia, the machine is broken. The propaganda machine is not so strong. And I'm not sure if it's a plus or a negative for the Russian as a country. Yes, in Russia, they will trust more what they after they speak to each other. This is something that I can prove to you guys in the future. I can talk to my father-in-law and he can tell you how he gets his news and how he believes it or what he believes. Hey, if you ever come and visit, hopefully the Gingerbread House mini hotel, Hotel California, and the Gingerbread House is going to be open for you guys. Today, I'm going to be receiving all of the wood for my future project. I'm building a mini hotel here so that tourists can come in the future. Do we have any other questions, guys? I'm going to be building this myself and with help with my friends, of course. My sister came and visited, but my mom hasn't, and hopefully she's going to visit again. I'm very isolated. I'm very far away from most major cities, so thank you, Tatiana. Thank you so much for your positivity. The US has experience with manifesting the nation. The Russians didn't need to learn need to learn the Russians didn't need to learn such powerful propaganda. Well, guys, I appreciate you joining me. If you joined late, look at the beginning of the live. This is where we showed the accident at the lake. When visiting foreign countries, you should not adventure on your own. If you're going to be visiting extreme nature like Lake Baikal, if you go to the wilderness, respect nature. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the donations. Thanks for everything. Why did the gas go up? That's just how it works. I loved a girl from Vladivostok. We were in Zhenjiang, China. I hope she's well today. Do you have Buryat or Tuban friends? Yes, my best friend is Buryat. Bye, guys. We'll see you soon. Thank you for watching the videos. Go watch the old ones if you haven't already.